In classical music, we never just play notes. Notes always have a meaning, a goal. In this masterclass, we will learn and explore how to reach for the stars on the piano. We will do that with Scriabin's Fourth Sonata and explore just its first page. Why the first page? Because actually there are so many details if we look closer. Of course, I will be stating my own opinions and impressions, and I will share some of the ways I think and teach music. I think it will be useful for everyone to build upon and explore further. So let's get started. The first chord of the left hand is very important. Of course, it's the first chord, it's the beginning of the piece. You can play it in a million different ways, including gently or harshly directly. You could play the first chord like a trumpet clearly piercing the silence, or like something immersing to the depth of the waters. For example, or it creates a more harsh sound. You could think of as an upper voice as an icy, crystallized, clear mountain lake, which also reflects sunlight or perhaps the light of a very distant star. Because we're reaching to the stars, I think we need this crystal clear sound. Probably we couldn't use a warmer sound. But for you wondering, how would a warmer sound like? Here is an example. It brings me to the next point. You could also play around with playing the left or right hand simultaneously or separately. There are always discussions about in which style of music you are allowed to do that and which you are not allowed to do that, but we know from biographies that Scriabin himself often very liberally approached music in terms of, for example, rhythm. Or in order to separate both voices. Now let's talk about the melody. You could make a very long melody. I made a very long melody. You could feel the tension that holds it all together. And this part, con voglia, in bar 7 means with desire. It's very important. And the part after is connected, like running or like small, quick, excited steps. In the first phrase, you could also pay attention to the other voices. You can notice the chromatic motion downwards, which is very typical for Scriabin and has a very seductive quality. In this context, you could interpret the word con voglia in very different ways. You could also interpret the con voglia part also like this, like a sigh. But instead, you could also connect with the previous phrase to make a very long phrase. We also notice this chord. You'll notice the accents. You can also put them in a different way. Let's continue now. Apologies for the damaged key on the piano. Here we see a very different color. We feel a tone color. In general, color is a very important topic because I'm convinced on the piano you can create different sound colors. And this is a very intricate process, very much connected to the way we connect our imagination to sound when we are playing. I'm planning to do videos about this in the future. Let me also say a few words about imagination, because you can have different opinions about imagination. Imagination can be fantastic, especially in the fields of art, but it can also be viewed as something demonic, as imagination can lead us astray and disconnect us from reality. So let me be very clear. When I talk about music, I think imagination is an active thought process that is actually healthy. Because when you are making music, when you're playing music, composing music, or performing music, it is not the same as passively consuming something. And as such, it might be very healthy, especially nowadays.